Alright, so now that the actual engine is done with the RTS game, we're going to be doing a couple videos about changing the engine or overhauling it to do something totally different, as well as polishing it. Some of the first ones that I'm going to do with polishing are a GUI or an HUD, which is a heads-up display. All that's going to be is the actual buttons and a little screen for that you can make objects show up for the buttons in, but it's generic and multiple buttons can show up depending on what you hit. For instance, if you hit a building, a little menu will pop up, that sort of thing, and all will be in the same spot and all will be well organized. That's going to be in polishing. Now, I said we'd do polishing as in better graphics. When everyone thinks of better graphics for RTS, you immediately think 3D. Well, GameMaker doesn't do 3D well, so let's do 2.5D. I have no 2.5D sprites ready. Instead, I replaced it with arrows, so this is mostly theory, but you'll be able to see what it means. Instead of rotating a single sprite, we're going to be having 4 different sprites which can be animated. To stop animation, simply type in sprite underscore speed equals 0. And you're all set. That'll stop the animation at the first thing, the first sub image, and you're fine. If you want to change the speed and then the sprite, that works too. That way, then when it's stopped, and then you hit speed to whatever it has to be when you don't want it to stop and you want an animation to go. For instance, for this one, which is just an arrow, I'm just doing arrows. Let's say it was a person facing that way, you want the arms and legs to move, and you have the sprites already. All you need to do is put the still one first, and then you can change the speed and everything else later. And we're showing you how to do that because we redid our worker, and we've revamped a lot of stuff. Mainly in the create, there used to be a line direction equals an image angle. Take that out. Global left released. Every time there's a line of code saying image underscore angle point equals point direction, take that out. There should be one in global if global.cursor equals 2 and global.cursor equals 3. I don't know about global.cursor equals 1, but try it anyway. Also in right released, there's one. You can take that out, and you can also take out collision with rock. No, this is for you want to keep that in, but because it's the object. But for me, I don't need it since I'm just demonstrating movement. You keep that in. Create we're good. Alarms were good. Step is where we need to do some work now, and we have here sprite underscore index equals select. Hit 2 parentheses in front of that. This is where you're going to be putting speed equals 0, etc. You're going to want to put that in front of if moving. So you're going to want to take this, and here, right up here, you're going to want to put image underscore speed equals 0. So now the image is not animating. And we can put that here too. But what we're also going to want to do is we're going to want to keep this sprite underscore index equals select. We're going to put in another variable later what you want to do if you want to have a thing for selected or not. However, that'll go right here where we change the images. You're going to have to do this yourself. Use your own imagination basically in here. Or no, I'll just tell you. You'd put if never mind. You'd take this code, you'd have top left selected per se, or you just have top left and it's just top left or whatever. You take all of this and you'd put it in the else statement, which I just deleted because I don't need it. So you can just do that, and that'll give you a selected circle or not. But if you're doing this type of movement, you should be more advanced in GML, so you should be able to figure that out for yourself. So here's the actual code itself. If X, it would be self.x, but for speed and just general practice, you can just use X and Y. I've been using self.x in the step-by-step tutorials for the engine because those were more for people who are just getting into GML, but now you have some experience, might as well just start taking shortcuts, such as X and Y, whatever this self object is. So we have if x is greater than global.desc and y is greater than global.desc, sprite underscore index equals top left. And this is whatever would be facing top left of the screen. Then you have similar things. You have if x is less than global.desc and y is greater than global.desc, sprite underscore index equals top right. If x is greater than global.desc and y is less than global.desc, sprite underscore index equals bottom left. And finally, if x is less than global.desc and y is less than global.desc, sprite underscore index equals bottom right. Now every time I said and, you put two and symbols or shift 7 twice. Now that is and in all C-based languages, and I'm not sure about Java. I'm not very familiar. But either way, we've already been over or and before, so we're just going to go with that. And let me show you what this actually can do. Now, I've taken a lot of things out of the room, only what's necessary. And I'm going to go ahead and move this thing around. You can see it's an arrow. It's pointing to the top left when I move it. It'll also do that when I move it to this corner and that corner and that corner. And I can also move it this way and that way. So what this does is it gives you a little bit, as I circle around, it's changing direction a little bit. And it does it while it's moving in the step. So there's a solid object it needs to go around. It will, and it will change directions as it's doing so. So if it has to go here, but it has to go all the way around, it will change its image as it's doing so, which makes it a pretty good feature. And you can have a 2.5D. Instead of it facing this way, you can be looking at the front right of a person's face and body, and over here you can be looking at the back right. Here it'd be the front left, and here it'd be the back left. You can find things like this, or a car, or something similar. All of this works together to make a better graphics. And buildings you would just look at it from the corner, and you could have the doors and whatnot. So makes it look a little nicer. It's 2.5D, comparable to, let's say, StarCraft, Warcraft, or well, Warcraft 3 more so than the other ones. Comparable to Warcraft 3 and even Diablo. That's the type of graphic style it was. So, and this is so. Thanks for watching. Please rate, please comment, and if you have any suggestions or you need help on something, just ask and I can probably make a video for it.